Hey everyone, Andrew here, Melbourne Superman. So I decided to do something a little bit different today. Don't mind my garage, it's always this messy. This is my home gym, that's how we roll. So today is the first day of the newest lockdown here in Victoria, Australia. And so I thought I'd do something a bit different with a bit of a day in the life of how I cope with a lockdown situation, a quarantine situation, because we are basically at that time where we can only leave our house for food, to get vaccinated, which I'm not yet eligible for, caregiving, exercise for 2 hours, but not at the gyms as they're closed, and I think that's it. Oh, no, food. I already said that. That's it. So those are the only reasons that we're allowed to leave our homes. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a video of how I stay productive, how I stay positive. So I'll go through my day, which happens to be recovery day today. So I'm on my treadmill. It's recovery for running. I'll take you into a little bit of my home workout later. So I'm just walking on my treadmill. I got my breakfast cooking at the moment. I'll walk for about 10 or 15 minutes just to get some steps in, and then we'll go from there. So it's tough sometimes when you have these lockdowns, but we can all stay productive. We can all stay positive, depending on what your situation is, of course. But hopefully we can all do this together. So I'll take you through my day, and we'll go from there. All right, I've just finished up on the treadmill, so I just walked for about 10 minutes. Again, it's a recovery day, so I didn't push anything too hard. And now I'm just finishing up my breakfast. So basically, the reason that we should all have recovery days, and this is one of those things where you can look at in terms of when you're in lockdown, you can look at it as a recovery, especially if your gym's closed. It's not the worst thing in the world to take some time off from working out. So the reason that we have recovery days, especially as runners, is because we need to give our bodies a break. Like our nervous system needs a break, our muscles need a break, our ligaments, our joints. So when you do take that time off, you're giving yourself that ability to recover. So for example, when you're working out in the gym, when you're lifting weights, you're tearing your muscle fibers down. And the only way that they're gonna come back bigger, stronger is when they repair themselves that way. So if you're constantly, giving yourself a barrage of hard workouts and you're never recovering, you're never gonna reap the benefits. So for me personally, I have two, in terms of my running, I have 2 quality running workouts a week. So I have one interval training session, which is anything from 400-meter repeats to kilometer repeats. Well, not quite kilometer repeats, but 800-meter repeats, that sort of thing, with some kind of jog recovery. And I have my threshold or tempo run, where I bring my heart rate up to my threshold, my lactate threshold point. I'm not going to talk a lot about that, maybe on a future video. And I'll keep that in a prolonged state. So that might last for me anywhere from 20 to 35 minutes at my threshold pace. And then the rest of the time, the other 3 days a week that I run, I have 2 really easy days where I just try to keep my heart rate under 145, and I have a long run. So my long run will be anything from a long, steady distance, which, I'll keep my heart rate at 140 to 150, and I'll keep it at a semi-cruisy, conversational pace. And sometimes when I'm training for longer distances, like I am now, I'll take some of my long distance runs and put quality into them. So what I mean by quality is I'll put some sort of pace in there that's a little bit tougher than my long, steady pace, right? So I might go at a kilometer for a 6:30 pace, and the next kilometer I might go at a 5-minute pace. Or I might take 30 minutes real easy, 30 minutes a little bit more of a moderate pace, and then 30 minutes easy again, that sort of thing. But recovery is important. So if I'm doing that, those other 2 days where I'm not running have to be real easy. But I do advocate for active recovery. So active recovery is just that. You're recovering, but you're not pushing yourself too hard, but you're also not just sitting around doing nothing. You are actively recovering. You're walking. You're going to do some swimming maybe. You're going for a bike ride. So active recovery is really important, but we do need to recover. Especially if you're feeling niggles or something, injury, some kind of injury. You just want to make sure that you're taking the time off to let your body breathe, to let your body acclimate to it, because as it does acclimate, you will get stronger. So I'm going to finish up my breakfast, which I'm actually doing something a little bit different with. Now I add a couple of eggs instead of avocado, and it's the tofu and tempeh plus the egg, so it's a nice little sort of scramble thing that almost reminds me of my grandmother's potatoes and eggs. Not at all.
This is great. Put this on ESPN. Maybe it is, I don't know. Oh!
Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of another lockdown where everything's made up and the points don't matter. I'm Andrew.
I'm Zach. Welcome to the 27th of...
So yes, that's me laughing at my own joke. So I am now moving on to editing my podcast, not the Kryptonian Chronicles, my other podcast, Breaking the Barrier. And so the reason that I wanted to put this segment in there is that when things like this happen, lockdown happens, it's really important to keep your routine. A routine can make you feel like you're in control, it can make you feel like you're productive, and it can really boost your overall mood. Now, in saying that, I will say, so obviously this is work, and I'm editing this as part of my daily routine, but I will say it's really important in your routine to differentiate the difference between work and enjoyment. So recreation, whether that's working out, whether that's going for a walk, whether that's talking with your family, Zooming with your family, really have those differences that you can compartmentalize. Because if you're feeling like all you're doing is working, you're going to burn yourself out. So you want to make sure that you have work time, play time, recreation time, workout time, time for yourself. But it is important to keep that routine, especially during something like lockdown, because the last thing that you want to do is fall into a place where just because you have to work from home, or maybe because your work is closed, you still have to keep moving. You still have to keep going. You still have to keep motivated. Otherwise, you fall into that dark place of, complacency and not getting anything done. And all of a sudden, you're just sitting around doing nothing, feeling sorry for yourself. That's the extreme version, and that can lead to its own sort of problems in and of itself. So make sure that you have a routine. Keep everything as normal as possible, even though it might be abnormal to work from home, to not be able to leave your house. Keep it up. You can. Just figure out what's working for you and keep doing that. All right, so here we go. I'm going to take you through my home workout in just a little bit, but right now I'm working on my pre-workout meal, turning this half a bag of spinach into something really minute looking. So it's really important, if you can, to keep up your workout routine, whatever that means for you. But not only that, you have to keep up the consistency in your nutrition, especially if you can't work out. That's where you're going to see your fitness kind of either maintain some semblance of good health or come crashing down. 9 times out of 10, if people can't work out, they see their body going in the opposite direction that they want, not because they can't work out, but because their nutrition suffers. I used to be that way, where if I couldn't work out, I'd think, oh, you know what, I can't work out, so let's just eat whatever we want. But you can't do that. Well, you can do that to a point. But you want to maintain some kind of consistency so that you can keep your goals on track. And for me, when I can't work out, I make sure that I keep my nutrition as on point as I can, to the point where if I can't work out, I'm not going to obviously have my pre-workout meal, but I also really focus on what my daily nutrition looks like. I keep it as clean as I can to make sure that my body is recovering while I can't work out and staying as healthy as I can. So as you know from my prior day in the life, so basically what I do here is I'll have a bunch of spinach, a couple of eggs, some chicken, and some cottage cheese, and that's my pre-workout meal. So basically I will catch you in my garage. That's where I do my home workouts, and we'll talk a little bit about what it is that I do and what different types of muscle fibers you have and how to work them. All right, so I'm back here on the treadmill again. I'm warming up to get my body ready for the workout. I definitely recommend warming up if it's not something you do. I know it's not glamorous, it's not the most fun thing to do, but it is really important. It helps you to avoid injury, get your body ready for any kind of cardiovascular or otherwise exercise. It improves the blood flow to your muscles, and it will, like I said, lessen your chance of injury. It'll help to reduce soreness, and it just helps you get your steps in too, especially during lockdown, especially during a time when you can't really go too many places or do too many things or potentially go to your gym. One of the best ways to get exercises is just walk. Getting your steps up every day will really help. You know, I always aim for 10 to 15,000 steps per day. That's kind of like my minimum. If I don't hit it, I don't hit it. You know, it's not the end of the world. I don't want to punish myself, but it's certainly a good goal to hit. So if nothing else, try to get your steps up, whatever that means. If you're going out to the grocery store, park a little bit further away. Or if you're taking a phone call, just walk around your house while you're on the phone. It's a really quick and easy way to get your steps up. It's a great way to burn a little extra calories, and it's good to keep moving, you know. The more that we sit, the more that we are stationary, the less likely it is that we're going to be able to bounce back from something like injury. Or if you are sitting too much, you're going to get injured because your body's just going to stiffen up. So I generally will warm up anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, and it can be, I'll usually keep the treadmill on 5 kilometers to 6 kilometers per hour, and I won't touch that. But I will alternate from walking to just like a little bit of a jog. And you can do that when the treadmill's at 5 or 6. It gets your heart rate up a little bit. You don't have to put it any higher than that if you don't want to, if you're not comfortable. I mean, I can take this thing down to a 4. Really slow walk, but still do a little bit of a jog. You're just jogging in place a little bit. So make sure that you keep your warm up or start your warm up and use that as part of your daily exercise habits. All right, so what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna do a little bit of my home workout. I'm gonna film it so you can get an idea of what a home workout for me looks like. I'm also going to be doing something a little bit different. So I'm working chest and triceps today, and chest, triceps, and abs. Oh, good for me, and abdominals. So chest, triceps, and abdominals today. I'm going to basically do each exercise that I do normally with the dumbbells that I have, or the setup that I have. And then what I'm gonna do after each exercise is I'm going to do a version of that exercise without any weights so that you can see what that looks like and how you can work your muscles if you don't have any weights at all, because I understand that not everybody does have weights like I do. I'm very lucky to have secured some. So what I'll do is I'll do each exercise, and then straight after I'll superset something that is going to work a similar angle of the muscle. So essentially I'm doing double my workout for all of you. So you're welcome. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna start out my workout with incline dumbbell chest presses. So as with any workout, like I said, it's very important that you do warm up. So this is just a light warm-up set just to get my muscles moving. I might do 1 or 2 of these sets, but straight after I will show you a similar movement, a movement that will attack the same area. So in this case, of course, the upper chest muscles. Also, it does work the shoulders, the triceps, basically everything. Any kind of compound movement like this will work more than just one muscle. So we'll now go into a similar movement. Well, like I said, not so much a similar movement, but it will help you execute the same sort of angles. So you're going to do a decline push-up. No weights needed. Great way to get that upper chest is decline push-up. So if you don't have an incline bench or dumbbells, just do some good old-fashioned push-ups. Another good thing to know that if you do have dumbbells, but they're not as heavy as you need them to be, well, then what you can do is slow down your rep and really hold the top. So you might get to the top in 1 to 2 seconds, but really slow that movement down 4 to 5 seconds and then explode up. That will make it harder. So for me, I have 30 kilogram dumbbells. That's not really heavy enough for me for my chest workouts. So what I make sure that I do is I slow that right down so that those 30s will start to feel like 40s at maybe 6 to 8 reps. So really, really good tip there. supersetting. Good work for the cardiovascular system. Really great to help you get warm and to start working hard. Especially if you don't have a lot of weights, superset is king. So if you don't have any weights at all, you could go from something like a decline push-up to a regular flat push-up, and there you go. That's a great way to get your heart rate up, build some endurance, that sort of thing. So I think I'm warm enough. I'm going to take this off now. Here we go. Shazam! Oh no, wrong superhero. Okay. These are really starting to get hard. Okay, that's one exercise down. Now on to the flat bench. Flat bench, same thing with the push-ups, only this time with the push-ups, I won't put a decline on. It'll just be regular push-ups, body weight, supersetted with the weights on the bench. Oh my God, that's supersetting stuff. Really no joke. So I've got one more exercise to do, two more exercises to do for my chest. And then I'll move on to the triceps. So we're just gonna blast through these. Here we go. I think I'm gonna pause on doing a superset each round just because this is supposed to be a deload week for me. So if that's the dip, it works your upper chest, your triceps, really, really great. Obviously I have a good setup on the treadmill, but to replicate this, you could just be really careful, but if you have a treadmill, great. If you have two chairs that you can stabilize, great. I would say with the chairs, don't use the top part of the chair, use the cushion part of the chair, and just position yourself in between and do push-ups that way. So that is a really good option. So onward and upward. Theoretically with this one you want to be leaning a little bit more forward, but I don't really have that option just because the thing is in the back of the treadmill. But I do what I can. So here we go. Last set for these ones. Okay, with this particular exercise, I will give you an alternate that you can do because I realize not everybody has anything like this at home. So I'm going to do cable flies, fun little finisher, but I will do something after this that you can utilize that will help you get this sort of isolation movement. Okay, this one's a bit outside of the box, but it's a good isolation movement for your chest. You can use something like this, a paper plate. Don't use something ceramic or glass that could break in your hand because you can be putting a lot of weight onto this. So basically, you're doing a push-up and at the same time, you're pushing your hand out, bringing it in as you come up. So as you go down, hands out. As you come back up, hands in. Out, in. And you just repeat that a few times. 5 to 10 on each side. Great way to isolate your chest or simulate a cable fly. Okay, this next movement is a tricep pull down. So you can use this, of course, at the gym with a rope or any extension that you can find. I'm gonna use my door gym, and right after I'll do some dips to show you what simulates this movement. Here we go. The good old-fashioned chair dip. So these are a great exercise to work the back of your arms and triceps if you don't have access to any other apparatus, equipment. Few sets of these, your triceps are toast. A little bit of a tip if you want to get a little bit more bang for your buck. When you do your tricep push down, get to the bottom of the movement and then contract it in. You'll feel your triceps really tighten up and then back up. So push down or pull down and contract in. Up, down, contract, up, down, contract, up. It'll give you that extra squeaky, that extra little percent to really drive home that power, that movement, that strength, that destroying of the muscle. Okay, the next movement that we're going for is the line French press. French press is great. One of the only movements that works all three heads of your triceps. Don't need a lot of weight here as it works really well. I recommend doing these with dumbbells as opposed to a barbell, just so that you can get your stabilizer muscles working and working both sides equally. Now for this one, we're back to push-up land. You can modify this as you need to. There's a couple different grips, and this will be the last of the non-body weight exercises that I show you for triceps, just because you can play with this so much, is the close grip push-up. You can use a close grip right under your shoulders, really hitting the heads of the tricep, or you can go into a diamond push-up and work them from a little bit of a different angle as well. Okay, the final movement that I'm going to use for my triceps is the tricep kickback. Very simple movement. I don't need a heavy weight for this because I like to really feel that squeeze at the end of it. I'm going to use 6 kilogram kettlebells, and even that's kind of ambitious. Normally I would go with 5. I don't have 5 kilogram weights. I mean, I do. I have the adjustable ones, but I'm being lazy and I'm not doing it. So adjusting them. So I'm going to take the 6 kilogram kettlebells, and basically have a neutral spine, get down into a bit of a quarter lunge, and all I'm doing here is from a bicep curl and feeling that kick at the end of the movement, really freaking squeezing that. Boom. That's all you need for that movement. If you squeeze it hard enough, you hold it long enough, you don't need a heavy weight. I don't need anything heavier than that, and it's working just beautifully. And there you have it. That's my chest and tricep workout from home for the day. It's time to move on to abdominal exercises, and then that's it. So chest and triceps done, time for the abs. Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna end this abdominal workout with a couple of plank holds from anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. And then I'll catch you on the treadmill for my cool down and my post-workout shake. Okay, and we're done into my favorite part, post-workout shake. Today's shake is brought to you by Bulk Nutrients. I'm not sponsored, but Good buddy of mine, Andy, Thor Vaz, follow him, he's crazy, larger than life, literally. If you use the coupon code THOR at bulknutrients.com.au, you get a nice little discount off of your order. And I love Bulk Nutrients. It's Australia made, Australia owned, so right on. Thank you, Thor, for that, for introducing me into Bulk Nutrients. So before I got onto the treadmill, I did do a bit of stretching. I do recommend, if nothing else, like 5 minutes of stretching after a workout can do wonders. So even if you're just holding each muscle that you've worked for like 30 seconds to a minute, really great, really gonna help the longevity of your muscles. And then of course, a cool down, always a good idea. So, so good. So my post-workout shake, as you know from my first day in the life video, is a half a cup of oats and the bulk nutrients and a tablespoon of roughly 5 grams of creatine. Is the anabolic window necessary?
Necessary?
Well, yes and no. You have a couple of hours to get some protein in you and some carbohydrates in you after your workout. Do you have to do it right after you work out? No. I do it because I enjoy it. I like having that to look forward to, like I said in the first video, at the end of my workout. So there you go. That's today's quarantine workout, post-nutrition, post-workout nutrition, and I'll catch you a little bit later. All right, so I'm back working again. I promise, I know I said before, I swear I'm not sponsored by these guys. It just worked out this way. Actually, funnily enough, I just got off the phone with a certain cosplayer, God of Thunder. More on that probably later, but I had a great catch up with him. Awesome opportunities to become a cool team and work together and learn from each other. And that's the other thing, as you get into a lockdown situation or a situation where your resources might be limited, you want to start to think outside the box and start networking with people that maybe you didn't know that you had something in common with. And you can find opportunities there. So, when you do make those calls, you turn a relationship into a business relationship, into a friendship, and things can go from there. So just because you're stuck at home doesn't mean that you can't necessarily find new opportunities, new networking opportunities, and in turn that into something. You turn that into something that can turn into something greater, becomes a community, becomes a passion for something. So I'm not going to give too much away just yet, but it was a good call, and I'm really looking forward to what the future brings. So look, I think that's kind of it. It's about 7:30 now. I'm going to wind down a little bit. That's kind of a typical day in lockdown for me. Normally, I might go outside for a couple minutes and walk, maybe a 15-20 minute walk. Today, I didn't get a chance to do that, but I did get a lot of work done. We talked a little bit about a cool workout that you can do. Keep in terms of nutrition, make sure that you're really on point with your nutrition as much as you can, especially when you can't go to the gym. It's really important to stay on there, to stay on track. So look, as always, if you do feel like you need a little bit of extra help, I'll put some links in the description, for places that you can go to talk if you're thinking that you have some kind of issue that needs an urgent resolution sort of thing. And of course, you can always reach out to me, melbournesuperman@gmail.com, or on my Melbourne Superman Instagram or Vero. If you're looking at life coaching, nutritional or training advisement, please reach out. I am happy to go over whatever you would like to go over, and I'll talk to you a little bit about what a relationship between us moving forward could be in terms of life coaching or physical fitness and nutrition. So I really look forward to seeing you, hearing from you, and talking to you. Thank you so much for watching this day in the life, lockdown style. I will catch you next time.